My name is David Harrison Grice. Welcome to the Grice Report, your unfiltered daily voice for truth. And as always, thank you for trusting us to be your voice. So I do want to acknowledge the shooting today in Arizona. The CBP have shot someone else. That's the Stormtrooper Division. This is Pima County, Arizona. We have minimal details available. All we know is that one person was treated on the scene, and they are in critical condition at the moment. We don't know a lot about anything involved in this shooting. We don't know the names. We don't know. I haven't seen any video. This is in Arizona, in a more rural area, as far as I'm aware. So I'm going to be following up on this and letting you know what the details are as they emerge. And now let's jump back into what we've been discussing. So the Department of Homeland Security came out and they said that they reviewed the body camera footage from the murder of Alex Pretti and determined that 2 CBP stormtroopers committed the murder of Alex Pretti. Not just one. So every video that we've seen, as graphic and horrible and heartbreaking as they are to watch, we see one person fire about 10 shots execution style. My eyes did not witness a second person firing shots. But the second person firing the shots, according to the Department of Homeland Security, is still CBP. They're still Customs and Border Patrol. They're still a stormtrooper, and they still fired a shot. So now, instead of one murderer, there's 2 murderers. So there's 2 murderers involved in this now that the Trump administration is aiding and abetting, because Jonathan Ross still hasn't been put behind bars. We're still waiting on that. Silverio Villegas-Gonzalez. I bet you that guy's still out there doing this to people. The one who murdered him. Silverio Villegas-Gonzalez, for those of you who don't recall, as it was a long time ago, he was one of the first people shot in Illinois by the ICE Gestapo. He was shot and killed in cold blood, just like Renee Good, inside of a vehicle. The reason you don't hear so much about it is because it was over 6 months ago. And unfortunately, the world didn't focus in on ICE as much at the time. We have had over 12 shooting incidents. That's a pretty damn high number. That's a lot of use of force. And that's only the incidents that we know about. Only the ones that we hear about. And that's going to be very, very important because now we have more eyes watching, more people aware. They're not going away. They're not hiding it. They're now in our face. They're taking out the public faces. They're taking out the Kristi Noems. They're taking out the Greg Bovinos, the people that we love to make fun of, this Gestapo Greg with his Nazi coat and all this other stuff. They're taking these people out so they can put in people who are really willing to just say, no, I don't care that I killed somebody. They're just like, they're going to sit there flat. Like Tom Homan, if you ever see him speak with a mouthful of marbles, that homunculus that he is, he will actually say like, no, I defend our law enforcement. He doesn't care. He just simply doesn't care. He has no emotions. And that's very dangerous because I don't know which is a worse choice. But I've seen video coming out of Minneapolis, Minnesota today where they're still terrorizing people despite having conversations with Governor Tim Walz. So things aren't changing. They're going to get worse. And I'll get into more of that after this. So if you like what you're hearing tonight, please remember to like, subscribe, and down here we have an email address, thegricereport@gmail.com. Again, that's thegricereport@gmail.com. Please send us any tips, leads, story requests, any kind of interactions that you've had with the ICE Gestapo, CBP stormtroopers, any other force that you're coming into contact with. If you have a story in your town, somebody that you know was abducted by the ICE Gestapo or has been threatened or something like that, please let us know. We are happy to follow up on those stories as well. And thank you to all of our subscribers. You are helping the rise of the people's voice, the Vox Populi. It has never been more important to be a member and subscriber to independent media organizations and support the independent media voices. We are being censored very frequently, as you know. Even Governor Gavin Newsom of California was like, hey, the Trump regime censored TikTok during the shooting of Alex Pretti. So that's something for you. But now on to 2 reasons why I don't think anything's going to get better. Number 1, today in Milan, we had discovery that somehow ICE is in Milan. Well, you're thinking it's the Winter Olympics, right? Of course ICE is going to be. No, I mean the ICE Gestapo. I mean the ICE that murdered Renee Good. The ICE that murdered Alex Pretti. The ICE that murdered Keith Porter. That's who's there. And the people in Italy are not happy about this at all. Mayor Giuseppe Sala of Milan is extremely angry and called them Trump's murder force and wants them out. Could you imagine the ICE Gestapo, the same people that shot and killed people in America, are now providing security at the Olympics. Is this ringing bells for anybody? We've been here before. Remember, Germans had the Nazis at the Olympics providing security. Awfully familiar. And the other, last night, there was a noise protest outside of the Spring Hill Inn in Maple Grove, Minnesota. And about 24 arrests were made. And I call them arrests because they were conducted by local police. Now, this is a suspected hotel where they're housing the Gestapo. And we've actually seen some proof of this because in the video that you're going to see, you actually see the ICE Gestapo in uniform in the top window. And what I'm not going to show you is a video of one of those scumbags mooning the crowd, because that's just disgusting. So watch this video and see the kind of the way that things are still going on in Minnesota despite these conversations between Trump and Walz.
My name is Lieutenant Eric Mysick with the Minnesota State Patrol. Due to your unlawful conduct and threat to public safety, I hereby declare this an unlawful assembly. You are in violation of Minnesota State statute. Completely peacefully. If you do not do so, you may be arrested or subject to other police action. Other police action could include the use of chemical agents, the use of less lethal devices, and or crowd control tactics, which may inflict significant pain or result in serious injury. The following routes of dispersal are available. Please leave to the south, away from the business area, to Hemlock, and leave the area. You have 1 minute to disperse.
And now you see the local police getting involved too. And they're not there to protect the protesters. They used an LRAD on them last night. Those things can cause seizures. They cause extreme pain. They can cause hearing damage. For those of you who are unaware of what an LRAD is, it's a big square device on top of a car that basically puts out a toxic noise to your ears. It's extremely painful. And even listening to videos of an LRAD at high volume is painful. It's a very, very painful feeling. And that's a crowd control device. And this is what they're doing to their own citizens. Shameful. And that's all it's ever going to be, is shameful. So thank you for watching. My name is David Harrison Grice. It's been the Grice Report, and have a great night.